Hello everyone and welcome to the very last Friday of September 2024. It is the 27th of September. My name is Kyle. I'm here with Mrs. Olson and it is time for Maker Notes. Today we're talking about a beautiful cowl by our friend Tanis Gray. Hello Tanis. Tanis created this one. It's called the Nevermore Academy cowl. It uses two different yarns. One of them is a color changing yarn, one is a solid, and it's really cute. It has a fun geometric pattern. You can obviously see that it begins with the multicolored yarn for the beginning, and there's a garter edge on there. So we're going to use a smaller circular for that so that it's a little bit smaller gauge, and then move up to a little bit larger needle size, and then start that fun little color work. And it's just a very simple color work, but the color changing makes it really beautiful. It's a symmetrical cowl, so there's a center panel and then it mirrors itself top and bottom. For the bottom edging here, of course, you're gonna just go back to that smaller needle again and do a little more garter edge and then bind off, right? I don't like how that looks. Let's see, is that better? You saw what it looks like. So cowls are really fun. Color work is really fun also. The one tip I can give you is the most successful color work is when we keep our two yarns separate. So you keep them in the same order throughout the project. That will make the back of it, or the inside, sorry Mrs. Olson, we're gonna turn this inside out so you can see. It'll make the inside also look really cool. So that all those little strands will stay in the same order. The yarn that's in your left hand makes the lower float. You can see those different floats there. It makes the lower float that goes along as we're changing color and color work. And the yarn in your left hand also makes a little bit of a larger stitch. So that left hand yarn, or the yarn that's the leftmost if you're working continental, is what we would call the dominant yarn. I want people to see, there we go. Well, there you go. It's close. So that's the dominant yarn, the one in your left hand, or the leftmost if you're doing continental knitting. But this isn't a class, this is Maker Notes. I'm supposed to be talking to you about all the kits, so the different colorways. This colorway is called Pendulum. So I'm gonna show you the two different yarns, talk about what they are, and then I'll show you all the other color options as well. So the first yarn is from Sheppel. This is called Gradient, and Gradient is a single ply. It's a single that's been felted using a really awesome process that makes a very soft, wonderful yarn. The color very gently and very slowly changes. You can see some peaks of color in there from one color to the next as it progresses through the ball. This yarn is a 100% virgin merino. It's 284 yards and a 100 gram ball. So this comes in lots and lots of colors. Like I said, we've curated some kit options here for you. But this one, this sample, the one that's the original that Tanis did, is Gradient from Sheppel paired with Sueños Haiku. So this is this really beautiful light yellow color. This is 1193, which is called Buttercream. Buttercream is 80% superwash merino and 20% viscose from bamboo. There are 255 yards in this 100 gram hank. So again, 284 in this ball, 255 in this hank. So when both yarns have the same weight, they're both 100 grams worth of material, you can look at those yardages, and the closer they are together, the more likely they're going to be happily playing together when you work with them in color work or any other kind of project. So Tanis made the sample using these. They work really well together. And for these kits, this one is called Pendulum. For the Pendulum colorway, you're gonna get one ball of Gradient from Sheppel, one hank of Sueño from Haiku. So those will always be in the colorways that we're doing. For the particular color. You're also going to get a needle. So you'll need two different needles. This is the larger one for the body of the project. This is a Skacel by Addi Rocket Square fixed circular needle. This is a US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter circular, 24 inches long. The Rocket Square needles, I've talked about them before, are really cool because they have this really fun textured sides. There's 4 different sides on here, and they have a little bit of a texture, sort of a raised bump texture, kind of like speed bumps. So when you're holding onto your work and all the yarn is wrapped around the needle, you squish onto that and the yarn goes into the space between those 2 little speed bumps all the way along the way, and it helps to hold and park the project in place. When you let go and you're sliding your work, it slides really wonderfully because of the finish that Addie has on their needles. So this is the fixed circular that you're going to get in the kit. You're also going to get a fun little treat, which we love these. This is called the Addie to Go. Addie to Go is this little heart. There's 2 different sizes, so you're going to get the smaller one. And you can see there's a little, there's a spring inside here. So you push this down and you put your needles in there. When you let go, it holds tight. So if I do that here, that is how you park your project. So you're going to get one of these little things as an extra little treat. And then of course, you're going to get the pattern. So how do we do that? Well, we're gonna go onto Ravelry and purchase the Nevermore Academy cowl pattern from Tannis Gray for you, each person that purchases the kit. So if you have a Ravelry ID, let us know what that is and we can put the pattern in your library when we do that purchase. If you don't have Ravelry or you don't use it, that is fine too. We just send it to whatever email address you use when you check out. We're going to print a copy of this pattern. We'll put it in a page protector and we'll send it along with the yarn and that needle and the little Addie to Go, along with whatever else you purchase. So when you get your shipment, you are ready to cast on. That way, the designer gets paid, you have a printed copy and a digital copy of the pattern and all of the stuff that you need. So it's really a win-win for everyone. What else do I want to show you? I want to show you the other colorways. So I showed you Pendulum, and then the next one is called Amontillado, and Amontillado is Sueño in color 1111, which is cream. So that's going to be the solid or the sort of background of the pattern, or maybe the featured pattern. And the multi is Gradient. It's this one here in color 2359. So the beginning and end garter stitch and all the other parts of the patterning will be this yarn here. So this is the Amontillado colorway. Then the next one will be Maelstrom, and Maelstrom is, we'll just keep going Sueño first, I guess. Sueño color 1202, which is called Mountain Fog, yes. So 1202 is the Sueño paired with Gradient 2623. So it's really beautiful, dusty sort of purples and goes into blues, and there's some browns in there. So that would be a really great option for you. Then next is Red Mask. Red Mask would be Sueño 1197, which is Bashful. It's this really beautiful pinky rose color paired with color 2262 in Gradient, and this is sort of a grayish, it goes into blues and grays and all of that. So each one of these balls, as you know, Gradient or any of the color changing yarns, every ball of this is going to look a little bit different. So the picture that you see might be a little bit different from the one that you receive, but the color number tells you that it's that collection of sort of color that's within the ball. So that is 2262. And then Quoth Raven is 1133 charcoal, really beautiful. I like the heathery aspect. I don't know what the word is. I like how this is heathered, the heathery detail or whatever of this one. This is the Sueño 1133 in charcoal with Gradient, and this is color 2594. You can see some peaks in there. There's some greens, and it actually goes into blue and stuff as well. So it's kind of a rainbowy color with this sort of charcoal as the solid. And then the very last one is called Ushered House, which is Sueño 1164. It's called Slated. It's a really beautiful sort of slatey blue color paired with Gradient in 2624. This is probably my favorite combo, but I like how sort of dusty and muted these colors are, sort of whitewashed looking, washed out. But it goes from little pinky rosy colors to sort of a very light sort of green color as well. Leans a little green, blue. It's pretty. I like it. So those are the 6 different color options that we have for the Nevermore Academy cowl. Get your kit while you can. We will get these packed up and shipped out as the orders come in. Also keep in mind, when you place your order, the order goes through, we see it, we print it out, and then we have to go onto Ravelry manually and we purchase those patterns all one at a time. So the pattern isn't something that automatically jumps in to your, your email or your Ravelry library when you place your order. We have to go in and do those for you. So it takes us a little bit of time to do that, but we do it before we get your order shipped out. So, okay. That is the Nevermore Academy cowl. Thank you again, Tanis, for such a great pattern. I love the work that she does. The next one is the X-ray knits bag. So these are my hands. So we printed some more of these. This is the X-ray knits in color. It's a zippered sort of vertical project bag. It has a rainbow zipper on it. And the way this worked, I had a medical provider, we'll say, that agreed to do some x-rays for me of my hands. And so I used steel on very old Addy needles, the Addy straight needles that were steel, so that they would show up on the x-ray. So we did this, and from that, we manipulated the image to create this fabric. So this is a really fun project bag. If you're interested, we've got just a couple more of these printed up. I love them. I think it's really fun. I think x-rays are really interesting, and 'tis the season, right? And speaking of the season, today is the day we've been waiting for. So our friend at Pacific Knit Company has come up with some new doodle decks. So what is a doodle deck? Well, Jamie Lomax has come up with, there's a whole series of them. This is the Spellbound doodle deck that's brand new. This is what's kind of called an expansion pack. So there's 24 colorwork cards in here. There's an instructional card, and then 2 different cowl pattern sort of instructions in here, but this is 24 different little charts that you can mix and match, put them in whatever order you want, and make a cowl or add them to whatever pattern that you like. They are super, super cute. It's an ingenious product line, and I am just so excited to see them every time they come out. So today is day 1 of the Spellbound. I believe today is also day 1 of here it is, the Haunted doodle deck. So this is all ghosts and little graves and bones and moons and all kinds of stuff. So those 2, I believe, are the new ones that came out today. There's also the Fantasy doodle deck. That is a new one. We also have, I'm just going to go through and show you the ones we just got in. This is the Dinosaur doodle deck. So Dino. There is the Ocean 2. So little dolphins and other fishies and fun things. There is a Camping doodle deck. So tents and sitting by the fire, and what else is there? Little trailer, little trees. That trailer's really cute. And then the very last one I have here to show you is the Arctic doodle deck, which has snowflakes and it has penguins, and what else is there? Walrus, little moose, all kinds of stuff. So you could take any of these, mix them with any of the others. There's also some basic ones that have some more sort of generalized patterns to use if you'd like to do that as well. So check these out, order them while you can. They are super, super fun. And then the last thing, well, 2 things I'll mention. One is the reggae promotion that we talked about on Tuesday. That was if you buy 4 or more balls of reggae, any of the reggae line, we are going to give you the Sherbet Fizz pattern that's by Amba O'Brien. That deal goes through Sunday, the 29th of September. So just a couple days left on that offer if you're interested. And then the very last thing is I am going to be at the Pacific Northwest Fiber Arts Expo. The PNW Fiber Arts Expo is next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4th, 5th, and 6th in Port Angeles. So if you're interested in taking a road trip, if you're within driving distance, it is a super cute little show. Lots of really fun vendors. It is a beautiful little town. Port Angeles is really gorgeous. And there's also Sequim, which is nearby. So you could check it out, do a little bit of shopping, maybe have some lunch, walk on the beach, I don't know. But have a wonderful time for that's something to do this weekend. And of course, come by and say hello to me. I love to see all of you whenever we are out and about. So I think that is it for this beautiful Friday. Stay safe to all of my friends who are in the hurricane experience. The hurricane that's happening right now that's just a really scary thing. Hopefully everyone is staying safe, and all the pets are safe and all of that. And let us know if you have questions or need any help. We are always here Monday through Friday from about 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific. You can always call us 206-747-7121 or send an email, hello@makersmercantile.com, and we do our best to get back to you just as quick as we can. So that really is it. I love how I ramble at the end of these. I just have to cut it off and say goodbye. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Bye.